In this video, we show Opturo's ODIN Performance and Attribution application, available through any web browser using either Opturo's on-site or cloud-hosted deployments. We first click on the Performance and Attribution icon on the ODIN desktop to launch the application. There are a number of options available through the application. But for now, let us go ahead and look at a report that's already been run. This is the performance dashboard. Let me point out that this is a totally customizable view with simple drag and drop technology. Here, I'll walk you through a preloaded example. We're first looking at the Executive Summary tab, where we see portfolio level statistics at the top and a line chart below. The Executive Summary lists basic information such as fund, benchmark, and valuation period, and some top-level statistics such as total return, best-worst periods, etc. If we scroll down, we see the Decision Attribution Summary, where the active return of the fund is explained in decision effects. In this case, GICS sector, GICS industry, market capitalization allocation effects, and of course, issue selection effect. Scrolling down further, we see the Risk Summary section, which gives a wealth of risk statistics, such as standard deviation, tracking error, information ratio, Sharpe ratio, etc. And finally, we see the Market Value Summary with basic statistics regarding the fund. Below, we see a line chart where we can hover over particular days to see the benchmark and fund return on that day. And you can also change the time slider to investigate different time periods. The Decision Attribution tree is a great way to drill down from a top-level performance view down to the security level. There's a wealth of information available. At the start, everything is rolled up to the top-level decision segment, which in this case is GICS sector. We can see, for example, that there was a negative 1.28% active contribution in the information technology sector. Drilling down, we see the largest negative active contribution came from computer and peripherals, and underneath there, mostly from large cap stocks. In fact, we can see there was a 0 fund average weight in this bucket, whereas there was a 3.81% benchmark weight. Drilling all the way down to the asset level, we see we were underinvested in some high-performing stocks. On the Holdings tab, we can see how each fund and benchmark holding performed during the 6-month period. Again, there is a wealth of information to investigate. Furthermore, there's a great way to dig down even deeper using time series analysis. For example, we can sort by active contribution, and we see that National Oil Well was the largest positive active contributor. By right-clicking and selecting Time Series View, we can see day-by-day statistics to get a deeper understanding of that contributor to performance. On the Graphs tab, we see a number of ways to visualize our performance and attribution. The graphs displayed here are only a subset of those available, as can be seen on the left-hand panel. The tree map allows for visualization along 2 dimensions. In this case, average weight and active contribution. Furthermore, we can drill all the way down to the asset level by clicking on a sector of interest. In this case, we can click on information technology. We can drill down further to computer and peripherals. We can drill back up, and then say drill down even further into a different segment, all the way down to the asset level. All the other graphs are similarly interactive and a great way to investigate performance. Finally, let's look at a very important feature using Opturo's performance attribution. There were literally hundreds of decisions made in the construction of the fund. This tab distills the top and bottom decisions in terms of their effect on active return. For example, here we see that the allocation across market capitalization in the healthcare equipment and supplies bucket gained 118 basis points. Using the graph on the right, we can then explore further that source of active return. For example, we click on healthcare, healthcare equipment and supplies, and we can see what our bucket allocation was like, or in this case, the active contribution. Drilling down to the asset level, we can see that all the assets we held had a positive active contribution, and we can look at their average weight in the fund and see we had a positive active weight in all three. Similarly, looking at the negative contribution in the small cap stocks, we can investigate further their benchmark and active contributions. Finally, I want to point out that we can export to a variety of different sources to further investigate the performance of the fund. In this case, we export to Excel, which is then downloaded to our desktop, and we have an Excel report with the same wealth of statistics that we can then manipulate and investigate further to understand our performance for the period. That concludes our video. Feel free to request a demo to understand more about ODIN.